Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, you people. It's 7 a.m. here in Houston, Texas, where I'm making this recording. Okay, it's me, Earl, to you people's rescue. Okay, I've seen videos on the internet. Okay, a man I know that has a 2014 Dodge Journey. The gloss wore off of the hood and the roof. Okay. He ordered acrylic enamel for it because he's going to sand down to the bare primer and he's going to go with acrylic enamel because he's old school like me. Acrylic enamel that's already a high gloss paint, you don't need a damn clear coat, people. But you can use a clear coat or you could go with urethane. Like this still applies to urethane also in a clear coat, blah, 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 blah. But let me tell you, these mixing instructions for your hardener, in your paint, in your clear coat, hey, Eastwood, where you give instructions, I'm sorry, guys. Your instructions are accurate, but humans don't understand. A person like me with a lot of experience, they don't understand when you take a container and it's got all these figures. All it does, it just makes the person think, I'm sleepy. Because they see all those numbers. There's an easier way to do that, people, to mix paint. Look, with Abel, he's going to need to mix paint for a paint gun. He bought a paint gun like this. It's a siphon type metal paint gun, and these are the best, by the way. They are the best. He got it for $29 on eBay. I've had this one since 1999. They were higher back then. Hell, I remember I paid $80 for this in 1999. Some things have reduced in price because these are no longer popular. Now they have the plastic container on top that is the gravity drop of the paint into the paint gun rather than the siphon method like this, even though they both, you hook up air to them or whatever. But these are the best because those with the gravity drop container on top, first off, that could break off and spill paint all over you and your project. Number two, if the plastic cracks, what are you going to do? Start looking around on the internet for the replacement part of the plastic part that goes in the bullshit on that. Is where this is metal, nothing's ever going to break. It's just a matter of cleaning it after you use it. Okay, now adjustments on this. Okay, you want this right here. This adjustment is how much trigger it's going to allow you. If you want to reduce your trigger amount, you turn it in. But I like full trigger amount because if I only want to put like a tack coat on, like the first coat, I've got a trained hand from experience. I'm just going to pull the trigger in so much. And then when I'm doing my third coat, I'm going to throw that baby in, see? I'm going to throw her in all the way. Okay, and then this right here, this is where your paint mixture comes in. Unscrew them about halfway or do a test pattern. You should get a cat's eye. It looks like the shape of a cat's eye, pattern, like where it'd have a full color. When you achieve that, you got this right, the top part, okay? See, this is layman's language. People can friggin' understand it, okay? And these are the best. As I told Abel, I said, just order the siphon metal top. These are only $29 on eBay now, people. And it's the best one to use. They've been using them for years and years and years. Okay, next thing, mixture. Don't buy those cups with all those fractions and ounces on it. Don't do that. It's just going to blow your mind and confuse you. Like Eastwood demonstrated. In Eastwood, another word to y'all, you have good products, but you're too damn high, guys. You're too high. See, all you people want to retire and be millionaires at age 25. I'm sorry, I'm not going to help you do that, and hopefully nobody else does either. But here's the best paint you can buy. PPG is the top of the line. Next under that, MTX. First, PPG and MTX. You know, don't just buy paint from anyone. And anytime you buy paint, whether you're buying it in a quart or you buy it in a gallon. Okay, I told Abel to buy a quart for his roof and his hood on his 2014 journey. Okay, which will be more than enough paint, more than enough paint. You know, because with his reducer, you know, that'll work out to like 2.5 quarts, you know. And that's not a very large SUV, it's a medium size. You know, they're not that large of a vehicle. They're not like a Tahoe or a Ford Excursion or Expedition. Alright, on the container of paint, when you buy it, look at the container. If the mixing instructions are not on that container, look on the internet for the mixing instructions for that paint brand per quart or you know, whatever. You're never going to mix more than 1 quart. Actually I never mix more than what would be a half quart, because any paint gun, and some even hold less, like this is a quart size. I mean, why would I want a whole quart in this? I'm not going to stand there and paint half of any car. You know, usually it's going to be an area, or if it's a whole car, I might get close to a quart, but not an entire quart of paint, you know. Okay, like to paint Abel's hood, okay, he should do that first. He only needs to start out with a half quart. That way he can complete his hood like with 3 quarts. And then for the top, same thing, about a half quart, you know, because, see, once you mix paint with the hardener, you can take, like if it's got thin or reducer in it, in paint, you can put it back in the paint can and save it. But once you put hardener in paint, you cannot put it back with the paint and save it. It's got to be used, and what you don't use, you have to throw it away. Once it's got hardener, you can't pour it back with the other paint, you see? So once you add that hardener, don't mix more than a half quart at a time, people. Because see, a half quart paint, and then you're going to have at least 4 ounces of thinner, 2 ounces of hardener. Okay, go figure, that's going to be raising it above the half quart, okay? There you go. And some brands of paint, they take more thinner than what others do. So keep it just below a quart, half to 3/4 paint cup or paint container there, or whatever. All right. Now that that's understood, okay. Now, if the paint manufacturer, if they don't have the mix instructions on the can or on the internet, don't buy from them. Don't buy from them. Don't buy from them. It's like I painted the hood on my 2002 Ford Super Crew. It was last June, and I've got a video on that on my channel, if you look for it, painting the 2002 F-150 Super Crew cab. Okay, and here was my instructions. I just wrote it off the can, you know, because each brand can vary. Okay, half quart of paint. Okay, pour that in, which would require 2 ounces of hardener. Okay, and then you stir that, let it set for 50, and then 4 ounces of thinner. See how easy that is? See, I just wrote it on this piece of paper here. That's all there is to it. And if you full quart, it'd be double that amount. Now the can of the MTX acrylic enamel I used, it gave instructions for a full quart. But nobody's going to start out with a full quart in any damn paint gun. You know, the most maybe 3/4 of a quart. So, you know, I reduced that figure down to 50%. A half quart pint, 16 ounces, to 2 ounces hardener, you know, and then stir that in the paint, let it set for 15 minutes in the container. Then after 15 minutes, add your 4 ounces of thinner. Okay, here's how I did it. Look. And buy these that are made out of glass. It's easier to see through than stupid plastic. Ta-da! This thing's made out of glass. It's made out of glass. This is what you're looking for right here. See, it's got the ounces on the bottom. So, like it's got the 4 ounce mark, 8 ounce mark, 12 ounces, and then 16 ounces. So see, all I had to do is pour in 16 ounces of paint into this. Pour into the paint container. See? Right, 16 ounces, which is a half quart. Alright, and then, for my written down instructions, 2 ounces of hardener. Okay. Here's your 4 ounce mark. Okay, in between the bottom of this container, halfway, midway, before you get to the 4 ounces, that's your 2 ounces. Alright, you see? Get one of these made out of glass that has the ounce measurements on it. And make sure it's like red or whatever. It's got good contrast so you can see it or whatever. That's all there is to it. You know, those measuring containers they use on Eastwood and other, that's just going to confuse the hell out of you people. It's just going to confuse the hell. See, anybody could do this. Somebody's grandmother could do this. Because they use ounces and, you know, like this. That's actually what this glass container is made for. It's made for grandma to bake cakes with, to measure with. You see, there you go. 4 ounces, 8 ounces, 12 ounces. There you go. See, you write these instructions down. Da-da. See, that way it's not complex. See? Make sure the container's got the mix instructions on it. And then, if they don't, buy from someone like MTX or PPG with the mixing instructions on there. Or make damn sure those mixing instructions are on the internet before you buy that particular brand of paint. Whether it be urethane, acrylic enamel, or acrylic lacquer. Or just gloss coat, you know, whichever. But anyway, man, you know, I hope this helped y'all people. See, I saved that. Let's see, how long have I had that? 9 months. Where I jotted that down off of the can. Because it can vary. Like PPG that I used back in the 1980s, the way that was set up, you would have paint, 70% paint, 30% thinner. And actually got better results with 35% thinner. But I use reducer thinner that the temperate type thinner based on the temperature, which you're still supposed to do now. You know, like match the temperature to the type reducer. And you're not going to get it in a fucking hardware store. You're going to have to buy it from an automotive paint shop that doesn't just sell a one-step kits, da-da-da. Another thing, one step, single step, 2-step, that's a bunch of bullshit. People, there are paints, okay? There are paints. Urethane, you're talking about a base coat, primer coat. Urethane, and then gloss, ta-da. Stage my ass. It's painting a vehicle, okay? Okay, regular enamel, chem enamel. Okay, base coat, your primer, your paint. Okay, there you go. And it shines by itself. Acrylic enamel, you don't use any gloss. Primer. But then your old paint under your vehicle after it's sanded is your problem. The only places you need to prime are where you went down to bare metal or had to do patchwork. Really, because the old paint acts as primer. You don't really need to prime any car. The old paint works for that. But if you've got a bare sheet metal part, yeah, you want to put some primer over that. There you go. Okay, that pretty much sums it up. Like if I paint a car, okay, let's take the hood or a door on a car. Alright, if I'm using acrylic enamel, okay, the old paint that I sanded down, that's going to act as my primer. If it went down to metal in one part or there was a repair, I spot touch with some primer. Okay, there you go. Okay, once I spray the first, second, and third coat of that acrylic enamel, it's not single stage or second stage, anything. That's bullshit. That's just to confuse people and for marketers to make more money. Is all that is. But I told y'all how to mix this stuff, man. Get on eBay and buy a 1 quart glass container that has very visual ounce marks on it that gives the ounces. There you go, man. Because I also use that to fill the forks on Harleys, like each side on my 97 Fat Boy on the forks. When I change my fork off, 16 ounces. Okay. I put 16 ounces of oil in that after I drained them out from the drain screws on the bottom of the first, took the cap bolt off, and then just poured 16 ounces in each side. And then put the cap, but there you go. I use that right there. Right there. Okay? But anyway, this has what you people need. Quit getting confused with these percentages and these stupid cups with all these numbers. That's a bunch of bullshit. Make sure a manufacturer puts those mix instructions on the can. If not, make sure those mix instructions are on the internet by that paint manufacturer. If they're not, don't buy their fucking brand. There you go. But anyway, hope you're all doing great and having a great day. And this is Earl. And Jesus Christ is our Savior. Get ready. The time is almost here, people. Almost here. I love you, Jesus Christ.